So, welcome. Happy Wednesday, and thank you for joining me today. I'm getting ready to go ahead and stream inside the Facebook group as well. Promise that one of these days I'm going to get more fluent at getting this up and going and started, so we don't have this awkwardness in the beginning. Just one moment. So today we're talking about ChatGPT and AI ethics in marketing. What should you be considering and what should you know? And I think we are getting rocking and rolling. All right, I think we're ready to go. And as you can see, I've got working on cleaning up my background. So, okay, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I think I'm all in sorts now. Um, so the conversation I had, or I wanted to have today, was surrounding ChatGPT or Borg or any of the new AI tools that are coming out that are being developed. I had posted an article in my Facebook group actually regarding this. Just a couple, I don't know, some different things for business owners who are doing their own social media, who marketers who are looking at doing certain things. And it was posted from Adweek, or doing certain things with AI. And the highlights that were shared is, over 10,000 people so far have signed an open letter calling for a memorandum on AI development because it is moving so fast and it's becoming rapid. There's concern about the technology's safety, carbon footprint, ethical implications, things like that. The article also presents expert opinions on the applications, possibilities, limitations of AI, and of as it continues to grow and learn and develop, and things that marketers should be aware of, and when it comes to the risks of AI and using technology without human supervision, how important it is to still have that human component. So a bunch of talk that's been happening in the marketing industry has been, at least among my peers, has been, instead of fighting AI, be sure that you're using it as a tool. Be sure that you're understanding it the same way that you would try and understand a social media platform, QuickBooks, or Canva. Be sure that you know the tool that you are using with its capabilities, limitations, your responsibility as the human behind the clicking and the software use. One of the great things about AI is it does help automate tasks that would previously, they're mundane, they're repetitive, or it would take someone, a creator, a solopreneur, a digital marketer, way more time. So in that aspect, it helps. It's helping people. It's actually, for me personally, it's helped me be able to lower rates than what I would have to charge with people who are looking for um, certain things. And let me just, sorry. Uh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm trying to adjust the settings on Facebook here. Anyway, we should be good to go. But yeah, so that's part of the issue. Or one of the benefits that I've been able to do is AI tools are actually letting me work faster because they're doing the work faster for me. still the human component or the human supervisor or filter to make sure that the content or the pieces of information that are shared, the end result is ethical. Um, it's also important to note one of the biggest concerns, especially right now, with in terms of there's a hypersensitivity, at least in our household, especially because we have Gen Zers, I think. But there's a heightened sensitivity about cultural diversity and inclusion that's happening in the world, and AI technology um, isn't isn't inclusive in that matter. To put it very frankly, it's very uh, white male bias, at least in what can the answers and the content and things that can be produced. So if your audience or your clients are part of a minority group, that's not necessarily going to be the best fit. So this particular article was again posted by Will Russo on Adweek.com. This went out on April 10th. Just an FYI, you have to have a free account in order to read the full article. But again, it's kind of that gateway that a lot of these companies are having. Most likely, if you are a marketer, you are already in their wheelhouse, or you already have joined their funnel system for that. And I want to go ahead and see this whole thing. Um, so, okay, there we go. So there's a lot of different news outlets out there, or different articles. Even just this morning, just doing a fresh Google search on what's happening with AI and what's going on with what's going on in this whole world. Sorry, I'm repeating myself because I'm also trying to read. I'm going to get better at that. So, the U.S. actually, this is an article from Reuters that was actually published today, at 1:28 Central Time, so pretty early in the morning. But the Biden administration had said yesterday, Tuesday, it's seeking public comment on potential accountability measures for artificial intelligence systems as questions loom about its impact on national security and education. So, one of the things, or one of the headlights that's been popping up over the last week has been the fact that people are asking AI, how do I take over the world? How do I destroy mankind? How do I go to war? Like all of these things that are, of course, a concern with a piece of programming that can basically, by someone who is much more savvy than I am, with it, can utilize it to be causing harm for people. So that is definitely something that is a concern. I mean, our administration is currently, questioning and banning TikTok on government-owned accounts and things like that. So that's something to that's something to consider. Um, they want to be sure that the AI systems, it's legal, effective, ethical, safe, and trustworthy, that we can do this, and that these software developers or these coders and programmers, OpenAI, we're just gonna call them out straight up, are following a certain level of code. Um, Now, unfortunately, locks and laws are for honest people. And so that there's the caveat to this kind of technology, or any kind of technology, or even in-person real life security. So I'm hoping that something will actually come out of it so that it is more ethical. It's also knowing that people are out there essentially, using AI content to spit out books, to create sales pages, to create copy, like churn and burn, boom, 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 really, really super fast. And because I've been researching this, of course, my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn feeds are all about the newest AI course, or purchase this downloadable, or things along those lines. And Well, you certainly can. Um, by all means, the landscape of AI, especially ChatGPT in particular, is changing so rapidly and going at such a fast pace. It's hard to claim that someone is an expert. Now, if you're looking for someone to give you ideas or prompts and things like that, there are free resources available. Just just throwing that out there. That is an option. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Ashley Smith IRL, and I can show you or point you in the right direction of where those resources are. Um, Something that is interesting is that OpenAI, Chat GPT, basically, well, OpenAI, what they did is they actually opened up what they call a Chat GPT bug bounty initiative. And so this is really popular and familiar with coders in that they're actually paying white hat. So we call white hat hackers. They're the people with the ethics. They're actually, trying to find bugs to improve the safety and security and integrity of software platforms by letting the main developers know, hey, this is broken. Hey, you need to fix this. Hey, I was able to do this. And basically, they're finding the errors, but then reporting it to the devs so they can fix it, or even providing that solution to them that they can go ahead and fix it. And what they're doing is they're actually paying anywhere from $200 to $20,000, depending on the bug that's found, um, based upon the impact of that fix or that patch or that gap that they missed, and the severity of it, and as a thank you of saying, hey, thank you so much. So that might be something that you could be interested in learning more about that. And so I think it's just a matter of I'm not here to say don't do AI. Obviously I am using it. uh um, in tools. I'm slowly integrating it as I'm able to, figure out what exactly it is that I am looking for when it comes to how is it going to help me produce a better end product for my clients, for my own business, things like that. Um, but I am still observing it. It's not a cut and paste scenario where I'm taking everything that's produced and pasting it. Because if you use ChatGPT, for example, I just got accepted for the invite for Bard, Bard, Bard with Google. So I'm working with that one and seeing the experience with that. I also have an AI tool, dynamic content AI tool in my software program, my all-in-one marketing software program. So I'm testing that out as well. Anything that comes out for a social media post tends to be very salesy and very pitchy, which isn't necessarily the kind of messaging that my clients are wanting or looking for me to be able to provide. Same with email templates or blog posts. It's not fully fleshed out. It's very superficial. And when you're wanting to be seen as a subject matter expert or you're wanting to be positioned as a premium service or an accessible service, that's not really what's going to resonate, especially on social media. People are going to be very turned off. Um, it's kind of like if all of the spam sales messages that you get on LinkedIn. Um, Nobody wants that. So you're not going to get the goals of awareness, engagement, things like that you would be looking for. So with that said, the human element is still important. It's a great resource and a great tool to use as a springboard for creating other content, but just flat out doing that for marketing, not something that I'm going to professionally advise. Now, in other areas and aspects where this is becoming an issue or is a problem, is in the fact that people are using AI to duplicate celebrities' voices. There's a fraud uh, concern. Um, and by all means, I don't know what the solution is. I haven't taken the time to kind of think about what exactly that is or necessarily what that might look like. Um, and so I think that it's a matter of people who are making the decisions and making the laws and the regulations. What needs to happen is that they actually need to be the ones to understand the technology or get advice from people that understand the technology in order to best figure out how to quote unquote regulate it in that sense. Um, I think that it's the people with the power need to understand and listen to the people who are using this for practical use or who are wanting the technology to advance. And everybody needs to communicate with each other in order for this to work. Um, and I think that there's AI for not only video, but AI for like a human to talk and do your training videos for you after you provided a script. Like it's really, really kind of wild exactly what this can do. And I think the part that people might be forgetting is the fact that it's AI. Um, I don't know if I should call it good AI or or not, but that's the only solid AI, good AI. I don't know, well programmed AI. Um, anyway, the takeaway is that AI is continuously learning. It's continuously learning from the past inputs and trying to evolve and progress and be better based upon those inputs. So that's kind of where the machine learning part, I think, freaks people out and thinks of things like iRobot, Will Smith's movie from a very long time ago. um, and it's one of those where it's kind of, one of those cautionary tales right now of, okay, this technology is here. It's no longer a movie from the 80s or the early 2000s. Everything that we're seeing in these sci-fi movies is becoming a reality. So for anyone who enjoys, sci-fi, fantasy, technology, things like that are like me, we're stoked about this. This is amazing. This is something that we've dreamed of or thought would never happen in our lifetime, if it ever happened. And it's here. But it is a good question to ask. Okay, how do we use this um, ethically? What does that actually mean? Um, and the concern is that again, it's moving so rapidly. The industry is moving so rapidly. More people are talking about it, so more people are flocking to it, and it's going to be harder to control. I guess is the right word, or monitor. Um, it's it's one of those. So here's another article from datanami.com, datanami.com. Um, so many companies, this article from Alex Woody. This was posted back last month in March, you guys, March 13th. Um, Kind of says the same thing that many companies are taking a slow and methodical approach to working through AI ethics and transparency questions up to this point, like being like, when do you tell your client that you're using AI? Do you not tell your client that you're using AI? Um, and I think that even depends on what exactly the end result is. If you're just using it for brainstorming or for different words or for different phrasing, I don't necessarily know if you need to tell someone that this was created solely with AI if you end up changing 98% of the end product, um, or using it for writing prompts or ideas. But if you are using, a significant amount of what an AI tool is providing you, then maybe that's something that should be disclosed. That's one of the questions, right? Should that be disclosed? If you were a client, would you want to know? Um, According to uh, MITRE, a study released in February, only 48% of citizens said they think AI is safe and secure, while 78% said they were very or somewhat concerned that AI could be used for a malicious intent. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of inevitable. I like to think that people are of good intention. I like to think that people are um, trying to do their best, whatever that means for them. But it does mean that we need to be, as individuals, as business owners, as consumers and users, we need to be more diligent in, uh, you know, vetting out, and researching who we're talking to on the other side of the screen, and not and being more aware. And I think that's the biggest thing, is being aware that this technology exists, because there's still, one of my clients, they are a credit union, and they still send out notices, and we create content and posts and things like that for people to essentially, um, let them know, hey, there are scam artists out there that have found some sort of information from you through social engineering, and they're going to say your granddaughter needs money, and will you send it to this address? And unfortunately, the elderly population tends to fall for that more. Hey, I lost my phone. I got a new phone number, that kind of thing. And then they just take it for, oh, okay, well, this is, my granddaughter, or this is my daughter, or my son, or uncle, and yeah, it's fine. Um, but the thing is even, a good practice, or a more real world example for people that are listening to this in the social media world, how many times have you gotten a friend request from someone that you're already friends with, and then immediately after you see a post update from their old profile saying, hey, don't accept new friend requests, I just got hacked. So it's one of those things where, the best practice, or the policy that I personally follow, is I receive one of those, and if I have an email or a cell phone, I will actually call, text, or email that person and say, hey, did you set up a new Facebook account? Um, my mom, she forgot her Facebook password. So, and she didn't know how to retrieve it. She also didn't call me, to ask about that, because she got a new phone and installed the app and forgot her password. So instead, she just created a brand new Facebook account, and she doesn't have a profile picture, and it looks super spammy. Um, but she also took the initiative and texted myself and my sister-in-laws and my brother and said, hey, I've got a new Facebook profile. It is actually me. So as long as you're aware of what's happening, I think that puts you well ahead of the game, um, versus people who are ignorant to this technology existing. So that is essentially the conversation that I wanted to bring to the table about AI and ethics, especially in marketing. And really, it comes down to having that human touch point, having that human filter to review things that are going out, the content that is actually being produced. And I'd like to hear what your concerns are, what your thoughts are, if you have solutions, anything like that. Those of you who are on Fireside, there is actually a link in my bio to all my socials. You can DM me and let me know what you think. For those who are on YouTube, or Facebook watching the replay, go ahead and leave those comments, down below. And I love to reach out to you. And I promise that this will be less hiccupy next time. Um, Next Wednesday, I'm actually going to be at an amazing in person event called Day of Excellence in Rapid City, South Dakota. I run the live social media production throughout the day. We have 4 incredible national/international speakers that come in for leadership and development. And so I will be there all day. So next week we are skipping a live, but I will see you the week after. I look forward to it. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.